Helen asked a question, does Trillian ever try to get in here with me? She used to, until she actually made it. And she's not so keen on that anymore. She jumped over the fence, ran into the room, and then was like, oh crap, there's kittens in here. I don't know these kittens. And that was the last time she's tried. Socks has been trying to get in here. Douglas is going to be okay. He just has to basically sleep off the incident. Let his body heal itself. He's a big boy. It'll be okay if he misses a few meals. And if you go to YouTube and search for the channel Brook Ivy 2, Brook as in the water brook, Ivy like the plant, number 2, all one word, and search for Suddenly Trillian, and you'll see when she got in here. It's a short clip. Douglas got his collar caught in his mouth and the clasp failed to release. I had to cut his collar off and it irritated his throat and mouth. Oliver's taking a pee. His clasp failed to release and the clasp was in his mouth. I tightened up all their collars this morning because I found that they were loose after his incident. And then when I checked them again 5 hours later, they were looser. They all were looser, so I took them all off. You have some colors here called Beastie collars or Beastie bands. Velcro and they stretch. Soft fabric, so it won't damage any mouths. Did you want to play, Mom? This is Olive playing here. Look at you in the box. Aren't you adorable? You don't even fit. Yeah. So if you have cats with the catch release, give it a gentle tug. Make sure that the release pops. Hey, she fits. Also, if you were to, you should be able to put 2 fingers underneath the collar, and if you pull right here, it should not go over their chin. Doug's collar loosened up to the point where he just looked down, the leg, and pulled it right into his mouth. I watched a clip of it on the DVR, and it was kind of like just hanging loose. I didn't check on the previous video because I did not expect them to go loose that quickly. They never have before. You won't find the incident on the DVR because I reset the cam right after. It was pretty scary to watch. He only had it cut in his mouth for about 3 minutes max. And half of that was me trying to get it off of him. Telling Douglas and Joshua apart. Douglas's back is pretty much solid tabby colors, and he's got the little cute smudge on the right side of his nose. Joshua, his back is half white, half black. The tabby kind of like Olive's back. Besides the collar, telling Olive and Sassy apart, Sassy's right side is pretty much all white, and I mean Olive's right side is all white, but Sassy's is not. Olive likes it when the boys aren't playing because they dominate playtime, and she usually sits off to the side and watch. And Joshua and Sassy are napping up there. Oh my God, that is adorable. Sassy is laying on her side, and Joshua is basically snuggled up against her, but using her head as a pillow. He's crazy cute. Ow. And when I'm at home, if I'm not watching, I'm almost always listening. Unless I'm watching a TV show or a movie. Okay, Let's try a little bit more water there, Douglas. I've already bookmarked this page. I don't need you bookmarking it. Forget all about the water. I'm giving him a little bit of water just to supplement. I don't think he's eating or drinking because when he had the clasp of the collar cut in his mouth, it irritated his throat and his mouth. So just making sure that wet his throat down a little bit, encourage him to drink, and to make sure he doesn't get dehydrated. We believe it's his throat that was irritated because every time he yawned, he would gag afterward. His collar did not break away. The clasp failed, and I had to cut it off. I took the collars off everyone because I found that all the collars were slowly loosening, and that was not acceptable. But this right here is an awesome sign that he's just going to be okay. He just needs to sleep it off. It's kind of like if you have a sore throat, it hurts to swallow, so you don't drink much. It's the same thing. I'm getting him playing, but I'm not going to get him playing too hard. I don't think he's eaten since the incident, but he's a really big boy, and it won't hurt him if he misses a few meals. And these are Beastie bands. They're soft, elastic, so if it gets caught in their throat, it won't damage their mouth. And it stretches. It's a good inch of stretch. Right now I'm only going to put collars on Sassy and Douglas. But Douglas is asleep, so he gets a reprieve. Correction, I'm only going to put a collar on Sassy and Joshua. If you're new to watching, I always say the wrong cat's name. Always. What are you stalking? Huh, Douglas? Oh, not always, but a lot. Hi, Olive. Because that's really Olive. And I did not call her Sassy. That's Sassy poking up there. She still has a red collar, and it has little white hearts all the way around the band. Because she's such a sweetie. Yeah. Well, she is. What you doing, Dougie? He's off exploring. He's trying to dismantle the kitten cam that's inside the kennel cage. There's a Velcro strip that hangs from the cam that I use to keep the cam level. And it's just hanging. They seem to like to play with it. Hey, Dougie. When I brought these guys home, I coined the term tabby cow, because cow kitties are called cow kitties because they have random black and white splotches on their body, like these guys do. Except these guys are not black, they're tabby. Isn't that right, Mom? She's a big sweetheart. These guys are so sweet due to, I believe, two reasons. Primarily, it was the awesome lady who rescued them and took care of them for 4 weeks before bringing them to perfect pounds. And I believe that these guys have a genetic disposition towards, or predisposition towards, being people-minded. Hi, Sassy. It's based on moms, I think, as a genetic predisposition. The kittens is pretty much all that rescue lady. She found them in a tree stump where Mama took the kittens for safety, and that's why I picked the name the Little Saplings. And they're named after trees. She told me she worked really hard on making them floppy, as in being able to be held any way you want, upside down and such. I don't know how she found them, but I'm glad she did. They were found at the dead end of a country road. And the dead end was made by the mudslide in Oso, Washington, the one that destroyed a small community. I was up late reading, and just as I was about ready to go to bed, Douglas had his color issue, and so I almost got no sleep. Finally took a nap around 2 p.m. Slept when these guys were sleeping. The book I was reading is called The Cross-Time Engineer. It finally, I read it as a teenager, and it finally came out in print, or on the Kindle. First 3 books in one. It's about a engineer that accidentally gets transported back to Poland about 9 years before the Mongols invade, and basically rewrites history. So if you like a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's court, it's similar to that. I have not, Tam. So if you're an engineering type person, you probably like the book. It's not on Amazon. It's the Cross Time Engineer. Let me see what it's called. Search for Conrad Stargard, and it's called The Radiant Warrior. That's the first 3 books. That's cute. It's definitely a skill learned to shoot pictures when you're not looking through the viewfinder. I'm getting better. Battery's almost dead. Won't need to charge. That's Olive. She's got an appetite. That's Sassy hanging from the Enterprise. Joshua's asleep behind her. Yeah, Radiant Warrior is also the name of the Kindle version, where it has the first 3 books. Cross Time Engineer, whatever book 2 is, and then the Radiant Warrior. And the camera I'm using is a Nikon D610. Yeah, I'm still learning things about the camera. Like last Saturday, I knew that it had a built-in level that would display on the screen, so I can keep level shots. But I didn't know that it also had a plane for up and down, and that I could do all the manual adjustments using it. I had a Nikon D60 where I was used to doing everything through the viewfinder for taking long exposure photos, but this one couldn't do that. I just found that. No, I have not read the instruction manual. It's a book like that thick, like an inch. Okay. It's actually 3/4 of an inch. You know, we get that inch thing wrong. It's nice discovering new things. It's like you get that eureka moment. It's like, cool. That was just my tummy growling. Don't worry. and try to encourage Douglas out of the box because there's trash in there I need to throw away. Well, maybe I can pick it out. This is a camera that I use for taking pictures of the Fosters, and I'm being serious about photography. I have a ultra compact, super expensive, tiny camera that I carry around with me if I ever need a camera on the spot. I like going for walks and playing Where's Waldo, whatever, with Mother Nature. Okay, I'm gonna close down chat. Okay, you can have it back. I've got the last two pieces. The one I have is the Sony Cybershot DSCW 100 or 110. They don't sell them anymore. It costs like $800. I want it small and compact. And when you go for tiny, compact electronics, you pay a premium. Oh yes, I'm gonna get the air cleaner set back up. Here's the air scrubber I have for the room. Pretty big. It claims to be able to scrub the air in a room this size 5 times every hour. And it definitely does improve on smells. And we all know that kitten poop stinks. And it's pretty quiet too. Okay, I'm going to step out now. Enjoy the kittens. Have a nice day. Yay, go Douglas.